Yo, want to make a video on my review on the Devil May Cry series. As you can see, not including DMC Devil May Cry, the spin-off game. And I haven't had the chance to play that game yet, so that is not included when I say Devil May Cry series. Even though I guess it technically should, but I want that to be its own video, that's why. About 3 weeks ago, I played the entire series of Devil May Cry, and man, what a ride it was. I didn't want to review it immediately after beating it because I feel like it gives it a bit of an advantage in my book because of recency bias. I feel like I'm susceptible to rating something higher if I recently played it. So I just really wanted to wait at least a couple of weeks so that it could really sit with me and I can really create an opinion on it. And I will say I did play all the games back to back to back. So I didn't play like... I know these games sometimes took a long time to come out. From like 4 to 5 was what, like 11 years. Like, and it's not like I played them through multiple times. I played them through all of them once, and I didn't touch DLC because the next game was already there available to me. So that is something that I think is important. But playing these games back to back was really interesting to see how more advanced the games get as we go through the series. Except a certain game that I won't mention. I'm not even gonna say it once in this video, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it though. And this video will have spoilers with gameplay in the background. With this video I'm going to be talking about everything. Not everything, but a lot of things that do include plot points. So there is your spoiler warning. They probably stink, bro. Damn! What do these guys eat? I don't know.
Don't you dare say it, Jackpot!
He has to. First slide is the pros of the series. One game's missing, but I'm not talking about it. But this game is literally the godfather of combat games, and I didn't know. I genuinely did not know that. It's crazy playing Devil May Cry, how much actually, like, how clunky it didn't feel. Like, it actually felt so good. For being such an old game, I was just so impressed with Devil May Cry 1. Even 3. 3 was even crazier, especially after coming a certain game. 3 just felt insane. The combat is just like, these games are so fun and they make you feel so cool. Like, you just get this feeling. I don't know if it's adrenaline, but like, I just feel something. But when you're playing these games, you're just thinking, man, can I combo this? And you just do it and it just works, and just like, holy shit, it actually worked. But yeah, these games are tons of fun, tons and tons of fun. The most fun I've had in a very long time, I think I would say, with single player games like this. I think someone said that the guy worked on Final Fantasy 16 combat, and that game's combat, I remember playing that game, I was like, this shit's actually so good. And when I was playing that game, I was like, damn, changing like your, what I forgot what it was called, the thing that you would summon, like you would get different abilities, and I thought that was so cool that you could be switching like in real time, and instead of having to press pause and then switch it. I was like, man, this shit's actually fucking this is insane. But I don't know why I just didn't like look into more games like that. I don't know why, but it was so cool, and these games is where that started. Except not really Devil May Cry the 1, but it's still like the foundation of what 3, 4, and 5 become. Not that one that I'm not gonna say. So cool switching through weapons. In 3 you didn't get to switch stances, but in 4 and 5 you did. But I gave you so much more freedom in 4 and 5, being able to switch your stances as Dante. I thought that was, my brain was like, holy fuck, I can do this combo, switch to this stance, do the oh my god, I'm telling you, I was just it was going crazy. Another big pro I really liked is the cutscenes in these games are so over the top and insane. I'm just always thinking, how the hell did they think of this? Especially in 3. 3 had the craziest shit you'll ever see. And the first cutscene in DMC 3, it just had so much style, and it was so creative, and I'm like I said, I'm just thinking, how are they even coming up with this choreography? And when I'm watching these cutscenes, I get this feeling that I would get when I would watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is just like how over top they are. I would get that same feeling watching these cutscenes. It's just so crazy and insane and fun, creative. I love it. I love it. Music in this game was always so good as well. I found myself countless times saying, listen to the music, and I would just pause, not do anything, and just listen to the soundtrack. And I did that a lot in these games. And I'm for sure probably using the Devil May Cry 4 shot music in the background, because that song just makes me feel like I'm floating. It's like, oh, it just feels so like, I don't even know, I'm like lifting from my chair right now. You can't see it, but I'm lifting from my chair. And characters in these games are so cool. I keep saying the word cool, but I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, that's what these games are. They're just so fucking cool. But all the characters are so well designed, with Dante being such an iconic character with his red trench coat, with Lady having such a cool design too, with her big bazooka. I don't know, the way she looked really cool in 3. I didn't really like her design in 4 though, but it bounced back in 5. I'm a person who likes characters with like fucked up arms, and so Nero was really someone that I really liked. I don't know if this is a little bit controversial or what, but you know, I think I do like him more than Dante. I don't know if that's controversial or not, but I really like him in 4. In 5, I had it grow on me. At first I was little, I was like, oh, what the hell happened to his hair? But it grew on me. It grew on me the more I played it. I was like, I fucking love this guy. And Virgil's so like cold too, like, I don't know, he just, the way he is, his demeanor and everything, I don't know. Every character has so much personality. I still think about them after 3 weeks later playing them, like, damn. And on the characters topic, I don't know who I liked playing the most because, and this is mostly like between Dante and Nero for me, because since, like I said, I didn't really play the DLC. I know Virgil was usually DLC in these games. I didn't really play Virgil, but I hear he's so much fun. And I only tried him out a little bit in Bloody Palace, and that's about it. But I think for Devil May Cry 5, I am going to have to go back and do a Virgil playthrough because that game is just insane. But if I had to choose between Dante and Nero, I think I'm going to choose Nero. Even though Dante's insane, like, you can do some crazy shit. I really liked bringing people towards you with Nero. I liked his grab animations that you can do with his hand. I really liked all that stuff with Nero. The weapons in this game are all so designed so well and so creative. Everything about these games, like with the Red Queen, you're revving it, making it go faster. It gets redder and hotter the more you rev it, and like it gives you more momentum when you swing it. It's like, holy, timing the rev perfectly was so satisfying. And being able to do a different move, not a different move, but you would do a move, but it would have a different animation and do something different. It was just so cool, and like wanting you to go for those perfect revs. Like, I think just the Red Queen with the rev, the concept of it is gonna make me come. Nero's arms too in 5, this is more of a 5 thing. Nero's arms, there's so much variety, so much different things you can do. You have an arm where you shoot out a fist, and when you shoot at that fist, it comes back to you. If you hold a certain button, you can jump on that shit and start riding it and riding it in the air. And then you can press square, and then he'll like do some fucking kickflip on it, and you just start doing some crazy ass moves. Like, it's so insane. I keep saying that in this video. I'm gonna keep, look, the 3 words I'm gonna say is insane, fun, cool. Hey, I'm sorry, man, if I'm repeating myself, but that's just how these games are. Dante just has a whole arsenal of weapons. It changes, it varies though in all the Devil May Crys. But I think my favorite has to be the nunchuck, the Cerberus nunchucks, because they just felt so fun to combo with. I don't know why I always liked them. I always had them in 3. Like, I always had that and something else, and I was always running them. And then in 5, the fact that they're the last ones you got, I was actually so happy. I was like, oh shit! Oh fuck! And 3, I really liked the Agni and Rudra sword too. Those were the dual weapons. I had to look it up because I forgot. I don't know if I'm saying that right. There was one combo that I had where it was kind of hard to time it, and it only worked if it was really hard to do like in practice, but like when you're like actually fighting people, you'd get it. It was kind of hard. I eventually got it down, but it was just fun that you could change it up. And these games have all these weapons for Dante, and the fact that you can mix and match all these weapons, and then in 5 you can literally have like 5 equipped. I don't know what was the max, but you can have so many weapons equipped, so you could just be going through all your weapons, all these different combos, and like, you could just do everything. It has different knockups, different finishers, then you can switch in between while you're doing it. It's just, my brain was on overdrive thinking of all the combos that you can even pull off. And once I finished 5, I had to see what people were cooking and what were they doing. And sure enough, there's just the craziest combos you'll ever see. People are so good. I thought I was all right, but I think what I was doing is so like bread and butter, in a sense, but people are going crazy. And that's something I really liked about these games, is that everyone will play them differently, like in how they combo. Like, the different weapons is gonna lead to different combo routes. So there's like kind of like a skill expression in this game. It's kind of crazy to see that I feel like you'll see that in single player games, but this game just has such a high skill ceiling, I feel like. And even in DMC 1, you can have the different style. Like, you're able to choose between 2, if I remember correctly. It's been a little bit since I played Devil May Cry 1. You were able to choose between the 2 like devil triggers. I forgot, but you had a choice though, and I really like that you had a choice in how to play these games. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna leave this slide here. I'm not gonna say anything. Now we're gonna go into the cons. I went into some of the pros I liked. Not everything, of course. I feel like I went into the big pros when thinking about what I liked about Devil May Cry. So now we're gonna do the same with the cons, because it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. If you ever see me give anything a perfect score, do something to me. I don't know what. My first con is that the story's not in depth. But before I get crucified or whatever, it's not to say that the story sucked. But it wasn't something that I like thought about 3 weeks after completing the series. Like, I didn't think about the actual narrative. I thought about the characters, but I didn't think about like what actually happened story-wise, you know? But I think that's gonna be different with everyone. But for me personally, I didn't really think about it. I mean, so the story was good enough for that, for me to like the characters that I enjoyed. And I liked everyone that was being introduced. And like when I played 4, when they introduced Nero, I was like, who the hell is this guy? He's gotta be related to Virgil or Dante. And you're telling me people waited 11 years for confirmation? But yeah, story wasn't bad at all. I'm just saying, it was nothing crazy. But I didn't go into this game thinking it was going to have a super crazy narrative. But if you're going into these games expecting like a life-changing experience and will make you think of the world differently, it's not going to be that. But it doesn't really have to be, you know? Not everything has to be super thought-provoking. It's not really the biggest like issue or con, to be honest. But I just wanted to bring that up. One big thing I did see in this series as a whole was boss rushes. I don't know what's up with these games, but they're obsessed with doing boss rushes. Not really like having a game mode where you do boss rushes is fine, but this game would put it like into the actual like core story gameplay. So you're just fighting like bosses, like even though you fought them once, you can expect to fight them again later on, which is an interesting choice. I didn't mind it in 4 as much as other people, I think, because I thought it was cool, you know, you're going back as Dante. So it was cool to fight them differently, like not the same way that you did as Nero. But then after that, you fight him again as Nero. I was like, what the fuck, did we just fight these guys as Dante? I don't know if I remember that correctly, but I'm pretty sure that you just did it again as Nero. And then in 3, you had the area with all the stairs where you had to go to these like these walls with a gem inside of it, and then you had to fight a boss that you fought previously. But I didn't mind that one too much. But it's just interesting that they did it. There was another thing where you had to fight bosses that you already fought, so they're just rehashing the boss. It wasn't that bad in 5, but it was interesting that like they made it as V, and that's a whole nother point. This is not really a con against Devil May Cry 5. But I'm actually so intrigued as to why they made V playable, because his playstyle is so different compared to like Nero and Dante. Like, I liked playing him. It wasn't bad because like it made me think a little differently, like, oh, I'm playing like a puppet character. But again, we are playing Devil May Cry, which is known for crazy combat. So to me, it feels a little weird to have the decision to actually make V playable. I'm not, like I said, that's not really a big con for me. And the last con that I could think of was camera angles. And I think this is going to be a big problem for older games always, but they aren't good game breaking, to be honest. Like, they're doable. Sometimes like you'd be fighting in one area and the camera would switch depending where you were in that area. So if you're fighting an enemy and they're moving around, the camera's just gonna fucking freak out. Like, it just panned back and forth. So it would just go crazy sometimes. But the fixed angles, like, I didn't mind. It would look cool sometimes. Like, oh, this is kind of like a cool aesthetic. But they weren't practical sometimes. So that is when it would suck. And 3 and 5 didn't really have that issue. I remember 5 having like just a small issue where like the camera spun in 360 because I jumped over Virgil at the end. It was crazy. It was just going in circles. It was happening. The cameras weren't always that bad. But I think games like this, where like the cameras behind the character, will always have an issue. I don't know if there's like really even a solution to that. But it is a con, so it is there. Not many cons, to be honest, for me in this game. I really had to think about them. And no, I'm still not gonna mention that one fucking game. Even if it's on screen, I might be showing it right now for this scenario, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say the game out loud. I don't even want to talk about it. And where does this game land in my favorite games and series? Well, Devil May Cry is officially my top 5 series of video games. No order, by the way. And why does this matter? Because, but for real, this game jumped the ranks when I was playing. I was like, man, by the time I'm done with these games, I genuinely think this game is going to be like a top 5 for me. It was such a treat of an experience. I recommend everyone to play it, but I'm assuming you played it and watched this video because I probably showed a lot of spoilers. So sorry if you're new and I spoiled some things. I didn't really spoil too much, I feel like. I did say some major pop points with like Virgil, whatever. But yes, this game ranks really highly up for me with Bloodborne, Sekiro, the Persona series, and Street Fighter. Capcom just dominating up there, I guess. I just really like these games, and Devil May Cry is definitely worthy of being up there. My final rating of this is a 9 out of 10 series. Numbers don't matter though, but there's a number. Just wanted to give it a little number. Why not? 9 out of 10. Let me know if you guys like Devil May Cry. And I'll play the DMC Devil May Cry spin-off game eventually. Let me know if I'm wrong, right, idiot, stupid. I never know how to end these videos.